Good day, my name is Ismail once again. This is the second section of the video on how to use this software much more effectively. So I think if you didn't watch the introductory aspects, it will be beneficial for you to watch the introductory aspect so that you can follow up with what I will be showing over here. But nevertheless, you can still watch this even if you didn't watch the introductory aspect because I'll still have to explain some things. So this is video is all about this particular content is all about how to register a product. You know, the first thing that comes to your mind when you first sign up on the software, after you sign up, a lot of people don't understand how to use the software itself. So after signing up, they don't know what's next. So this video is to show you what's next. You in case you've not signed up for the software yet, please don't forget to sign up on ivfi.com.ng ivfi.com.ng. So you can also share the link with your friends. So now, if you the main logic behind this inventory management is you being able to keep track of your stock. You know, when it's in a situation where you have a store that you have a lot of goods, to keep track of the goods using pen and paper or Excel is a little bit hard. But this software automates everything. All you just need to do is just input the right data, and everything will be done for you. You don't have to use pen and paper and start doing addition or any complex calculation. All you just need to do is just to sit back and input the data and let the computer do the rest. So that's just the thing. So what we're saying here is when you're in a situation where you have a goods in your shop and you bring in the goods, so you have to keep track of how much of the good in quantity, how much you have at a particular point in time. Okay. So now, if you register after you sign up, you log in. After you log in, first thing you do is to register your product. Okay, each product that you have in your shop. So now, what I'll do now is I'll first log in into the website. I will log in by inputting my email and password. Then I'll be taken to the dashboard page, but the dashboard everything is zero right now because I don't have anything. Okay, so what I'll do next is I'll navigate on the computer. Is a quite different interface, but it's the same. So, but what I'll do here is I'll navigate to the register. You see this link, this side link, register. Then I'll click on register. So when I click on register, I'll be navigated to this page where I'll fill up information. So let's assume I want to sign up. I want to register a product for the first time. Okay, let's say I'm selling cement. Okay, let's say I'm selling Boa cement, right? So I'm going to input it. Okay, this Boa cement. I'm trying to input. I'll put the name. You see, all these fields, the ones in asterisk are the most important one that you can't leave blank. You can leave other fields blank, but those one in asterisk are mandatory. You have to fill it up to be able to submit. So, and again, there's a question mark. Okay, there's a circle with a question mark. Okay, this is just indicating in case you don't know what a particular field means. As soon as you hover you hover on the circle that contains that question mark, is going to bring in more information about what that particular field means. You see how I'm doing it. So now we're talking about this Boa cement. Okay, so now I'm trying to register this Boa cement for the first time. Okay, so now, what I'll do, I'll put the name. The name is Boa Cement, quite alright. Now, this is the name. Everybody knows what the name is. Now, product ID or SKU, that's where the problem is. A lot of people have misconception about it, but it's not that hard. It's just like a serial number, like a serial number for each of your product that you have in your shop. If you are selling cement, now you can be selling Boa cement, you can be selling Dangote cement, you can be selling Sokoto cement, and even the Boa cement, you understand, it might be of different type or it depends. But I'm just saying, so each product will have its own product ID. So you'll be the one to determine what the product ID is. It could be an alphanumerical number, just like a serial number. A serial number a consistent serial number. So for my own now, if my shop name is encoded, I can just decide to name it EN. Okay, let me say 123, showing the first product EN123. But one thing is, no two product must have the same name or SKU. It will bring, if you try to put the same, if you have a product already in your inventory that has that kind of name, it will spit back error when you try to like input it. You see right now there's no any product in the inventory, right? So but no two products must have the same name. No two products must have the same name and SKU. It's very important. So you can, this SKU or product ID is left to you to decide how you want to name it. Okay, it's just a serial number to identify each product. Now, coming to the category, so it depends on the category I choose. Okay, actually my category is under provision and store. So let me use Boa cement. Let me just use Fanta as let me just use Fanta as an example. Okay, since it's okay. So now, had it been my industry, when you want to register, when you look at watch the previous video I did, the introductory aspect, when you want to sign up, you have been asked for the industry. So that's why you have to like specify so that that will determine what's going to be shown to you. So now, since I'm into provision and groceries, so let me just choose Fanta, okay, as the name now, and then it fall under drinks. Okay, so now this is drinks. So location, it depends. You can just try and put the location. You can see it's in section 2. The location is just where where the product is in your store. So you can just use shelf 2, section 2 shelf. You can put shelf 1. Okay, I don't know whether I'm spelling the shelf correctly, but it's just, that's how you this is just a information on how to, on what this whole thing means. The location is just, it depends on what you name your own. You can say maybe section 2, I don't know, maybe corner 4, or it depends on what your own naming convention is. But all this information are not even important. But you can, it's also but you can also put it to just make your your work more easier. So this EAN number is applicable to, most likely is more applicable to phones. Okay, and they have this European article number. It's commonly a 13-digit unique numerical identifier assigned to product for identification in European markets. So that's, if it is applicable, you can put it. If it's not, you can leave it blank. Also, the same thing for UPC. It's a barcode symbology widely used in North America, that is US and Canada. And this badge number is attributed to goods that are like drinks. Okay, so when you check those goods, or biscuits, when you check at the back, you see badge number. So if you have it, you can input it. If you don't have it, you can leave it blank. So now let's talk about the expiry date. Now the expiry date, you could choose any date. Okay, this one is just for demonstration purpose. But if you want to actually use it in order to get updates about your expiry, a product that is about to expire, so you have to put the right expiry date. So let me just put 5th. Okay, let me just put 5th of April next year. So now the quantity. Now you put the quantity. Let's say I'm bringing in as it is. I'm bringing in 10. 10, that means I'm bringing 10 carton of these drinks. Okay, so 10 carton. Then how much does it cost me to bring the 10 carton? I could just say 30,000 naira. Okay, now selling price, how much am I to sell each carton if I'm to sell? So let's say let me just say 4,000 naira. Okay, so now I can input the supplier name and the supplier address and the supplier phone number, all this. And if you have any additional information you want to input, you can put it. Then this transaction day, but for me, I'm going to leave it blank. Okay, so let me show you supplier name, supplier address, supplier telephone. So you can put those information. So for me, I'm going to leave it blank. If you have other additional details, you can put it here. but it must not exceed 300 character. So now you now put the receive date, the date you receive the product. Okay, so if you don't put the receive date, the computer will assume it's automatically today. Okay, so it's that present day, but if you put it, if you specify, then it's going to show you. Okay, so but for me, I will just leave it blank, so it's going to automatically put today as the receive date. So let me just confirm and see. Okay, so I've already registered the product successfully. Okay, so you can see that over here. So now, after registering the product, the next thing to do now is you can check the inventory to confirm if the product is there. So you can just when you refresh the page, you can see the Fanta is there now, EN12310. Okay, so now in a situation whereby you want to add more, okay, you want to add more to the inventory, you have the Fanta already in your shop, you don't need to register it again. So you want to add more. So what you do, you just come to this page, this same page. You don't go to the register again, you just go directly to the inventory and you check for the product. In a real practical sense, you have a lot of the product, maybe up to like 100 or depends. But for now, I only have one in my store, so I will just add. This one is for deleting the product, this one is for adding more. Okay, so when I click on stock up, okay, I'll be navigated to this page. So over here, you see, I don't need to input the name again. It's already written. Okay, so the location, you can also put the location. If you like, you can skip it. But for here, for me, I will skip it. Okay, in order to let the video to be too lengthy. Okay, so now you can put the expiry date also. You can put the expiry date. Okay, so let me just put the expiry date. Let me just say this one is going to expire on let's say January. Okay, next year. Sorry, 2026. Then the quantity, how many am I bringing in? So remember this particular is the quantity is 10 right now. Okay, but if I add more 10 to it, that is, I'm bringing in more supply of it, and then I bought this, let's say that's in 30,000, the price has not increased, and I'm selling it at the rate of 4,000 naira. Okay, so you can also put other information, supplier name, supplier. It's almost the same thing as registration. Then the same thing applicable for the order received date. If you leave it blank, it will automatically assume today. But if you specifically choose the date, then it's going to update it. Okay, so but I will leave it blank, so it will automatically assume it's today. So that's just all you need. So all this information that are in asterisk are important. You don't leave them blank. Okay, so that's just the way it is. So now I'll just submit and then I'll confirm. Okay, so I've already confirmed the product has been added successfully. So let me just refresh. Okay, you see it's 10 before, now it's now 20. So that's how to add more to the already existing product. So that's just for that. But for those that are into selling product in pieces, in the introductory aspect, I talked about some people do sell product in pieces. Okay, so let me show you something. Let me show you something that you get to see. Okay, let me show you. Okay, let me zoom this let me zoom. Okay, so now when you observe here, you see that the interface is a little bit different. Over here, I have name, product ID, category, location. Over here, I have name, product ID, then unit per bulk before category. So for those that are selling in pieces, if you are not selling in pieces, you don't need to watch this part. You can just skip this part, okay? But if you are selling in pieces, that's those that are into electronics, automobile, building materials. It's not applicable to them. It's applicable to people selling people selling provision, people selling books, people selling shops selling clothing. So that they do sell in pieces. So this one is a little bit there's a little bit twist, but it's not that hard to comprehend. So now what it means when you see this unit per bulk, you can also hover, just like I told you. You can hover to the top of the circle when you get more information. But what this unit per bulk means basically is In a situation where, let's say you are selling drinks now, for let's say you're selling crate of Pepsi, okay, you're selling crate. So if you are selling in pieces, if you are selling in bulk, there is no issue. You don't need this unit per bulk. Okay, but if you are selling in pieces, you have to include the unit per bulk. That is for each crate of Pepsi. How many bottles of Pepsi do you have in it? So if it is 10, you put 10. If it is 20, you put 20. If it is 30, you put 30. Okay. Now, for those selling books, okay, like set of books. Now, if you have mathematics textbooks, okay, and you are bringing it in set, and each set has 10 textbook in it. So now let's say you bring in 5 sets. If 10 textbook is in each set, that means you have 50 textbook all around for that 5 sets that you bring in. Okay, so now so in that situation you have to put your unit per bulk as 10. Okay, you put the unit per bulk as 10. And then for those selling clothes too, if you are selling t-shirts, now you're selling the shirts in sets. So one set of those t-shirts, maybe white Armani's t-shirt or Armani t-shirt or Versace's t-shirt, or so now one set of it has like 5 t-shirts in it. So the unit per bulk is going to be 5. The unit per bulk is going to be 5. Okay, so that's just how the whole thing works. Like a crate of egg now, you have like 30 eggs in it in one crate, right? So the unit per bulk for that, if it's a crate of egg that you're dealing with, is going to be 30. Okay, since you are selling in pieces, you are selling one egg for each for people. So that's just the logic behind this. Then coming over here again, you can see that the quantity is actually 2. Over here, the quantity is 1, right? But over here, the quantity is 2. Okay? So now what that means in particular is for you not to get confused. This quantity in bulk and in pieces, what it means is in a situation where you're selling like Pepsi now, you get an order of Pepsi, you get 10 crates. I think the explanation is even here, okay? Or if you don't get it, this is a more elaborate explanation. So you get like 10 crates of Pepsi. You get it, okay? If you get 10 crates of Pepsi, you just fill in here as 10. You don't need to fill up here. You just leave this place blank, okay? But there are some instances where you could get 10 crates of Pepsi and at the same time get like a remnant of 2 bottles again. 2 bottles is not up to a crate. Assuming like you have 10 bottles of Pepsi in one crate. So if you have 10 crates, it's full. Okay, so 10 bottles, all the bottles altogether is 100. Now in a situation where you now got 10 crates of Pepsi with another 2 bottles. So how are you going to account for the 2 bottles? Because those 2 bottles is not up to 10 crates. Sorry, it's not up to a crate because you need 10 of those bottles to make one crate. So you can't say 11. So it has to be 10. Then you now put the remnant as 2 over here. So the same thing applicable to clothes too. Okay, if you have a remnant, you put it. But that's only if you have a remnant. You don't have to put this at all. You only have to put it when it's necessary. Okay. Now the same thing applicable to books too. If you have like 10 set of books, but you have 2 more textbook in pieces, so you now put that 2 over here. Okay. So now in a situation whereby this one is quite rare, but it could happen too. So we are trying to address all kind of scenario so as to avoid misunderstanding. So now in a situation where you got in your supply, you just got 2 bottles of Pepsi. It's not even up to a crate. You don't need to fill up here. You just write the 2. Okay. So this is very, very important. Okay, because so as to avoid any confusion. Now, if you are selling also, when you come to selling in bulk, the price is also 2. Over here, the price is 1. Okay, the only selling price you have is 1. But here you have 2 selling prices. You have the bulk and the pieces. Now, for the bulk, the selling price, what it means is for 1 crate of mineral, let's say Pepsi now, how much are you selling it? 1 crate. Okay, it's going to be 3,000 naira. So, for example, it's 3,000. Then you put 3,000 over here. But if it's for the pieces, what it means is for 1 bottle of Pepsi, how much are you selling 1 bottle of Pepsi? So 1 bottle of Pepsi, maybe you're selling it 300 or maybe 350, depend, or maybe 150 or lesser. So this is just to show how much you're selling each bottle of Pepsi. Okay, and this one is showing how much you're selling one crate of Pepsi. The same thing applicable to clothes. If you are selling set of Armani t-shirts for a whole set, if someone wants to buy a whole set, how much are you going to sell it? If you're selling a whole set to be like 50,000, you just put 50,000 over here. Then one t-shirt in each set, how much is it? Okay, so you can maybe one t-shirt, if you are to sell in pieces, it's going to be maybe, let's say, 5,000. Okay, so the same thing applicable to book too. When you're selling one set of books, a mathematics textbook, how much is it? If your whole one set is like 50,000, so you can put it. Then one textbook or one mathematics textbook that is for pieces, how much is it? All this information are important, and I will show you why it is important. But this is only applicable to people selling in pieces. If you are selling in bulk, you don't need all this. If you are only selling in bulk, you don't need all this. Okay, so that's how the whole thing works. So I hope you understand. So for the book also, if one textbook, you can be selling one textbook at 2,500 mathematics textbook. So all the other information are still the same. So you just fill it up and then you submit. Okay, so you make sure you don't leave the two space blank. You don't leave the two space. You have to fill one. If you leave it blank, you will get an error. Okay, so that's just all about this section of the video. So if you've not signed up, don't forget to sign up on ivify.com.ng and try and comment and like, okay, and like this particular video, and try and look forward to the next section of the tutorial, okay, which involves selling of goods, how you are going to sell goods. Okay, so thank you for watching.